Definitely too soon, Ben. Let's go ahead and hit that. Let's throw this in real quick. Welcome to Creating with Jack Pines. So here we are today, not in the forge. I woke up this morning really excited about getting out and swinging a hammer, and then my neck reminded me I'm not in a condition right now to do that. So let's see what we can do about that. So instead, we'll forge some Lego today. And my wife was gifted these two here. It's either that or start a really big project. And I don't want to tie up the table because this is also where my wife does her puzzles. Um, yes, it's in my office. You can maybe hear the printer starting or running through some calibration steps behind me. A plaque for the stash. You mean a place for the stash? A place for what stash? All the Lego that it hasn't been built yet? Because there's plenty of that. Um, we'll go ahead and switch to that for a minute while I chat a little. And that is done by hitting that. Set these out of my way. But yeah, um, we have no stashes. Every place in our house is just a place where stuff stays for a bit until we figure out, either where to store it or whatnot. Um, but I have, for example, a massive set here um, waiting for me to build. And I'm excited about building it, but it's a big one. Ugh. Let's see. Are you able to see that? Yeah, you're able to see that. I think. Let's turn this off for a second, just so I know. Yes, we're on the correct screen. It's a beautiful build here to do. That one's living right under this table until I get where I um, have nothing else I have to do or want to do. I'll come back to that. But I do love my Lego. Um, the whole family does, and it's a fun way to get that creative thing going, even when the brain is not necessarily cooperating with being creative. Like I could be doing a CAD work right now, but I'm just not feeling in the mood for that kind of work. And this shoulder is all horked up right now. Yes, it's my left shoulder, but that's the one that actually has to do all the fine work. And right now it's just a real bummer. Um, and it is spreading over into the other one. And it's all because I'm um, putting more time at my desk, staring up at my gigantic monitor. So my neck's pulled back in an angle that it doesn't really care to be too much. And so we'll figure a solution to that because I can't live with that for too long. I don't know if it's just changing my ergonomics or what, but yeah, that's what's going on there. That and the fact that my wife had me out walking, and that really jerks up my back as well. And then before walking, last weekend we were busy building um, a duck run and moving the chicken run and setting up another actually moving two chicken runs, one that's on wheels, one that's not, cleaning out an old chicken run um, and setting it up so it could be a duck run. So yeah, there's a lot of work over the last week, and that's got my body being in FU mode. So Karma is into building cars. That's awesome. I love those car builds. Those car Lego builds are gorgeous. I've got, let's see, so far of the car collection, I have three Batmobiles, the um, Ghostbusters wagon, um, and a Mustang and a Ferrari. So fun stuff. All right, so let's get to building something. Yet to be opened. These are Christmas gifts for my wife, and her fine motor skills are degrading, sadly. So she said, "Go ahead and build these." So let's see what we got here. I've built others of the flower collection, and they're very pretty. So got a whole bunch of colorful bananas, spider webs. It's fun. I gotta do it this way. Who knew bananas came in those colors, right? Bag three. Bag one is going to be the vase. And bag two has some wild looking pieces. More spider web, as well as bronze, but I've never seen these pieces before. There's orange ones that are in there. Let's see where they end up going. Hey, beautiful. Okay. I can't use the Builder app because my phone is currently serving as my camera. But if you wanted to follow along, here, scan the QR code. And then you could follow along in your Builder app. Ah, these are chrysanthemums. Lots of Lego has taken to doing this, even in these books, which is awesome, where they put a little bit of exposition so you have some idea of what it is you're building, a context. Love that. I'm not going to bore you guys with the context. That's something that I definitely love, though. And so I'll have to go back and take a look at that. I could do a whole ASMR bit here and spend time doing nothing but wrinkling the bags and shaking the Lego pieces, but I'm not going to do that to you. I am going to spend time separating. So this is the how do I find my pieces faster? And also, so for those who um, are catching me on, a weekend break from studying, my habit here reflects the way one probably should study. One should go through and do a once over of the structure of everything and you get some ideas flowing in the mind. Start creating questions about the material before you even see the material, so that as you go through the material, you you're more engaged and start getting because you're getting answers to questions you've postulated. So this is kind of the same process. Basically, just take something that feels overwhelming sometimes, number of pieces, etc., and then break it down into component parts. Be wondering about, be curious and wonder about, what in the world could these pieces be for? It's also the beginning of playing with them without the instruction book and building something unique to your build experience. And frankly, it's a way one should approach a good amount of their life, I think. Good is a bad word. I shouldn't do that to myself or to you. Um, but with wonder and curiosity. And so sometimes you have to build that wonder and curiosity, especially if you're studying something you're not in the least bit interested in. You just need the grade, only to then later discover, hey, I developed interest through the approach to the topic rather than being bored um, or just disinterested. You build yourself some interest. There we go. Almost lots of gold pieces. This has got to be for the base. Little gold decorations along the way. Either that or they're going to be hidden. I try not to put similar colors next to each other just to make it easier to go through all this. Speaking of which, that's another technique. As you're going through, use a tool, something like I just discovered this for myself, something like Obsidian, which is a free tool, uses an open formatting mechanism called Markdown, which is very easy to learn, and lets you structure a mind map of what it is you're putting together, studying, whatever. So my son discovered that WordPad no longer exists on on Windows 11, and said, "Hey, Dad, this is something that sucks about Windows 11." And I'm like, "Hey, that sounds like it does suck, but here's the answer, I think, as to what you can do about that. Don't use their proprietary method, proprietary application, proprietary format. Instead, use something that's open, Markdown. And here's a tool that can do that." So here we go. First steps. And then we need these little half moons. It's not a moon. Happy May the 4th be with you. Do this 4 times. Hey, Kevin. Thanks for dropping in. I was telling Ben and anybody who happens to be lurking that my neck and shoulders are kind of messed up from overexertion last weekend and then through this week sitting at my desk staring up at a big screen that for a change I really had to leverage most of. So pitching my neck into an upward, um, bent back, and I've got arthritis all in my neck, and it pinches things in such a way as to cause pain in my neck and down into my shoulders. So swinging a hammer, I felt that between that and the fact that my low back, my mid back is all up in spasm. I'm just not going to do that today. Not going to do that to myself. See if I can get another day of recovery in. So we got ourselves a nice little sandwich there. That should be structurally sound. Go ahead and throw on 4 of these. Looks like they gave us an extra one. It'll go into the tray of extras folding. It's fun. I don't know who does it. It might, but taking it seems like so many of these kits come with these tools for prying off. It's mainly the bigger kits, I think. This kit didn't come with one that I see, and so now they're being turned into strange-looking rocket ships or something. They become pieces to the Lego assembly themselves. Oh, this is interesting. It seems like we're breaking the rules there. That's kind of cool. So I say breaking the rules. We're literally building something upside down to go on top of right side up. Or am I looking at it? Nope, I'm looking at it right. Upside down to right side up. There are no rules. Let's see. I need grippy things. Yep, four of those. So, been a pretty hectic week for me. Um, I've got a so this whole debacle with big tech deciding we're going to just start laying off full-time employees so that we can invest more into AI. Um, it's having uh, consequences for both early in career folks like my son and advanced career folks like myself. For the advanced career folks like myself, it's meaning that there are fewer full-time roles to compete for, making it a hard market to actually find the roles and then, interview for them if interviews are even made available. So late last year, we decided to go all in on the small business of having our own consulting contracting company. And the mission statement includes the fact that um, the goal is going to be to develop this into a return of the bottom rungs of the ladder that seem to be um, disappearing here in the States. And that seems to be, I can vouch for it um, for people in tech. Um, and the way I can vouch for it is obviously anecdotal, but there's a number of people, my son included, who have their um, own kids struggling to find that first role. Um, whether it's because the layoffs have been happening, because um, offshoring has been happening, um, and now because AI has been happening, such that I'm seeing a repeat of what happened 20 odd years ago when I was working at Symantec in support, not development, and that corporations will do what corporations do. They basically don't value people. They value only how much green they can tell their shareholders they made in excess of their bills with the anticipation that it will always be an increasing amount, which is not a sustainable concept, but that's where we are. And so with that, they basically just bottom dollar humans until basically they can get us replaced altogether with robots. At which point, I don't understand how they believe their economy will continue to work, as there won't be people who can afford to buy the things they want to sell us. So we're trying to do something about that a little bit here. Because there are still plenty of roles. It's just now they're being turned into contract roles until they can figure out how to just not need contractors either. And so I'm doing some contract work, and I have a contracting company that I have another contract. I can have my son work, and I mentor him through it. So the company that we hold the contract with um, doesn't lose out. They actually get more than they're paying for. This one's a little, okay, so it goes like that. That's wild. That is truly wild. I've never seen Lego build like this before. Right side up, upside down, all in the same assembly. I'm going to do this next step twice. Take a couple of these, stack them. Ooh, throw pieces on the floor. That's why they give us extras, but not of everything. Heavens knows some of these pieces, though, they get thrown on the floor. You'll never find them again. So they're actually having us do it kind of 4 times, just slightly differently each. There we go. Next one, do also twice. That explains why there's 4 of these. So it's been a busy week with that because um, just a lot of things happening at the same time with both contracts we're currently dealing with. And oh, yeah, long days sitting at the desk, looking up at screens and angles I'm not real good at. Got the nickel screaming at me. Fortunately, I live in a state where I can get something that serves as medicine to help me sleep through the pain. So there's that. Legally, I don't know if I needed to say that, but don't do anything that's going to get you into Hooskow. People might actually depend on you that don't need that kind of hassle. This is an interesting one. They're having me, they didn't give me versions of this that have a stud on top here, um, but they are having me use it just like I would one where a stud was provided because it's going to interface with this one, which would normally expect a stud there, but, or there at the tip, but it's not a structural component, so no need, I guess. There's one. Oh, and now we're going to turn things right side up again. This is such a wild build. That, I guess that's why they had this particular piece with the double, you know, um, on both sides. Now we're supposed to place that. Guess it doesn't matter which orientation. There and there, there, and there. Viola. No, it's the other one. It's Viola. I actually wanted to spell voila this week, and my initial attempt went with WH, and then I realized, oh right, that's that um, weird one that's based on a French word. So of course it isn't pronounced the way it looks. Ah, and then we finish that up by going around like that. And that explains that. So, I'm going to take a moment out to share the outcome of the last live stream. I did not like the way the the egg cradle, the way I started working on it with you guys on the last live stream. That egg cradle was not um, coming out the way I wanted. It was great as a first prototyping, but I ended up starting over because see if I get this right. Yes, okay, so they are ridging across like that. But anyway, because I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a second. Let me finish with these four pieces, and then I'll switch gears real quick. That's coming out beautifully. Look at that. Lovely. All right. So here's the way that one had come out, and it proved honestly that this was actually probably too big. Um, it was just right for goose eggs, but probably too big for the let's turn it in the right direction for the um, purpose of what I was making this, which was peacock peafowl eggs. So um, also there was one real big flaw on this one, and that's the fact that it was flat bottomed. It needs to be rounded so that it can, once I put the pins on it, it can rock in its place inside the incubator. And it wasn't going to rock real well with these squared edges. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized those squared edges aren't going to be something I can cleanly um, remove and turn into a bowl with the way I'd drawn my fundamentals in the my sketches, fundamental sketches for this design. So let's go ahead and turn this back on. And I'm going to get things set up for this. So first off, we'll go over here and I'll go to Onshape, get signed in. Do all that off screen so you guys don't have to. All right, and then we're going to go here to window focus, sources, really. And then we go here to window capture, and we go to see if I can make it make sense. It's so weird. It's not popping up in my results. Let's get this right. First off, this belongs there all the way to, okay, I see what's going on there. That's weird. That is not what I'm looking for. There we go. That's better. Window capture. All right, let's see if this works the way I think it will. go ahead and transition over. All right. I might even expand things here in a second. We'll go here. We'll go ahead and open up the egg cradle. All right. Pretty close to right. Let's go ahead and make this a little bit easier to see everything of importance, that is. That looks good enough. You guys will live with that. Hey, Shane, thanks for jumping in here. So now what you're seeing is an actual egg cradle that matches what we're talking about. So here's the first attempt, and I had even added the pins after getting off the video, I think. But once I started thinking about how in the world am I going to go ahead and um, round the bottom over, I was like, I might have gone the wrong way with this. So I created a whole variable studio to pull over the variables that was in just that part studio, and was able to leverage all that to then build this, which is the completed version. There's two of them currently serving in the incubator right now, or so I'd bring one over to show it to you. But yeah, this came out beautifully. Um, I can't be any prouder than that, because that looks almost identical to, the real the real the the manufactured one that used injection molding. It's just, this is ver pretty and holds the eggs as intended. So pretty happy with that. And if we flip it around, look at it from this angle, you can see these two pins are on the same axis and are what it pivots on. And then this pin is the one that fits into the little motorized rocking mechanism. And then, of course, with the little feet to make it sit on the table when you pull it out. And we actually have a couple of peafowl eggs that are maturing. It looks like we could end up having a couple of pea chicks. So real happy with that. I couldn't have of um, I don't see any way to improve upon what I did there. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. So let me go ahead and go back to this one. Two grand monkeys. That's cool. That's cool. Keep those, yep, keep them shiny. That way they roll the best. All right, so on to the next part. We just set this over here for a minute, and we grab this, which I don't know if it's just me or if everybody agrees that that reminds me of a revolver's uh, cartridge. I think that's what it's called. And we take a couple of these pins and we push through on the two. Nope, not on the circles, on the pluses. Got it. Press. Come on. Press. There we go. And then we take this. Such a wild build. Press these on. And the third one goes on the red. pushed through. Voila. All right, we'll set that down for a moment. And we grab this and these. And these. I bet these are just two extra pieces now. That. So, what's been going on in everybody else's world? I see Kevin enjoyed having grandbabies, little grand monsters. I'm sure they're angels, though. Got her foot stuck in the little roller coaster thing, the ball, the um, kinetic ball art that you do. I don't know if it's the channel Trail Dust is currently talking from, or another, or if it's public, or if it's private. But if you get a chance to see his kinetic, um, uh, ball toy roller coastery looking um, work, you should see it. It's pretty cool stuff. Uh, New Forge yesterday. Yesterday, part of the reason I'm hurting today is the walking about we did. Strolls, slow strolls just destroy my back. Standing or slow walking just destroys my back. There's got to be something pinched back in there. Um, but we were out strolling a second use store in Seattle, and I found myself um, s- what will become my solid fuel forge table. So I'll end up spending, whatever the hundreds are to buy one of the gorgeous forge pots, and that will be, oh, I got all messed up there, Jack. That will be uh, put in this table. And I say table because I have no idea what it actually was meant for, but it literally is some pretty good uh, gauge of sheet steel, sheet metal that has been, um, you know, ha uh, oh, I know the word. It's been cut and uh, bent is, I'm just going to call it bent at this point, but I know a break, some sort of break tool was used to fold lips, right? Um, and I'm sure the thing was meant to be some sort of tabletop with those going downward because the cutting and the bending they did, they even formed a rounded corner around quarter-inch bar stock that's all welded in place. So it's got good structure um, that I can actually put some. Actually, is it rounded corners? It may have been square corners now that I think about it. Square corners. Either way, it's reinforced, and I can attach some angle iron legs on so that I can have something to forge on top of with that forge pot that I'll put in there. And it was about 3 feet by 3 feet, so just right to be big enough, but not too big. So picked that up yesterday. And the gears are turning on how I can build it. And yeah, I might finally have a forge that I can forge bigger works across instead of struggling to continue to use something more made for just bladesmithing. All right. Let's go ahead and set this over here with the other constructed pieces, put the extra pieces, like I said, over there. and start doing a little bit of separation again here. Neat pieces. Clearly, oh, I can't think of the word. There's a word for that part of the stamen. No, that's the inside. The part where the bud comes, this surrounds the bud itself. Anyway, that's what these pieces are. And these are the weird ones that I've never seen before. I don't, I shouldn't call them weird, but they're, an unusual shape that I can't identify what else it might have been used for. I doubt they created new pieces for this. I think that that's one of the latest philosophies of Lego is to avoid making unique pieces. Instead, make pieces that can be leveraged in multiple builds. And so that's why there are banana pieces um, in that other bag. So why do you say new as in quotes there, Kevin? New to you is what I assume you mean? And what kind of forge is it? What the heck are these? I've never seen pieces like this one. This is another unusual piece that I've never seen before. Gotta love the fact that that camera just automatically refocuses. Okay, we got the bent kind and the straight kind. Hey, a lot of green in this one. I don't think I'm going to be able to keep all the colors separate this time. We'll see. Those blue, pretty. Yes. All right. Yep. There. All right. It says, the first thing it says is put this in there. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh. According to the picture, have it in that orientation. Not that it should matter. Press these in. Couple of spacers. Let's see. It's an old rivet forge. Has a lever to operate the blower. Lever, as in up and down, up and down, up and down, left and right, left and right. What do we mean? I'm curious about this blower. That's a I've got to show this. This is too cool. Let's see if because the same place that let's see if I can pull this up and do it right. Photos. It should have synced by now. So I should be able to come over here. Let's pull it up. No. go to library. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. This time, though, we're going to focus on a different thing. We'll go to Window Focus. This time, focus will be for photos. Yes. Now let's see how hard it's going to be to show you those photos. Apparently, I have something still turned on with the other one. Let's go back to studio mode. Let's go to sources. Let's go ahead and turn that off. There we go. All right, but we are going to go ahead and switch over to that scene. Let me we'll go here. And after I enjoyed an amazing but weird and yeah, the color belies its weirdness beer yesterday, we ended up going over to a place here in Seattle called uh, Second Use. And lo and behold, at Second Use was this old bellows. I just could not identify what its purpose was. And it was in such poor shape. I wasn't walking out of there with it. But it is a cool piece that was tempting. A lot of work would have been involved in rehabbing that piece, though. So, and I just have so little time. And then behind it, you can see another really cool piece, a um, uh, saw table. You've got a band saw over here. And from what I can tell with the rest of this saw table, I think that band saw could be used, turned or something to do longer cuts. Either that, or maybe there was a way to mount a different kind of saw blade in there. Um, so this is what I ended up getting. And so I'm hoping you can see that there's some perforations in here. I'm not sure what those perforations are for, but the fact is they not only broke it into a downward facing flat, but they even rolled that further. So they did a first break of the little one and then broke it again into the big one, I think. Uh, Big being relatively speaking, quarter inch to full inch. But the corners, they're reinforced, um, and I'm thinking I can put some legs on each of these corners, reinforce them with some, angle, uh, do some reinforcement of the legs, either across like this or angle across, one or the other. And that will serve perfectly good for then mounting a forge pot in the middle here, um, and being able to work with that. So we'll see. Um, if you guys have feedback, let me know. Up and down lever. That's wild. Is it still a rotary blower, as in it had to translate the up and down force into rotation? So hopefully, hopefully that was a good buy. I mean, let me put it this way: the reason we ended up buying it is even if it's not the right part, it'll make a decent table of some sort, and it cost us $10. So good way to second use a piece of reasonably rigid work craftsmanship there. So I don't have, and we have no idea what it actually is, what it's really for. Um, I, so anyway, go back to this and continue. We'll bring this over here, and the next step is one of these and one of these, and we put that right in that little hole there. It'll get posed into a certain direction of some sort. This one goes here. Two more of these go here. red in here, 2 yellows. And that there. Nifty. Grab one of these, go in this direction. Grab one of these, go in the same direction. Huh. Wonder what we're going to build off that. We're going to slide a little gray peg with creating a new stub through here. Oh, I think I was supposed to do that before. Oh, there's 4 places to do that. Oh, which leaves us one to spare. We do that in all of these little holes. There, there. This looks like they want it turned a lot more than I have it. And this one goes there. And I'm supposed to put a leaf on 2 of them. That one and that one. All right. Time for a couple of these. Yeah. Why does it show 2? Oh, because we're sticking out the top. Got it. There. Gears that ratchet to run the pulley. That's pretty wild. Yeah, I've been thinking that a way to go rather than a full forged table was to try and find one of those number of projects calling my name. Go enjoy and build. Take care, Kevin. Do, 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 do. Let's see, we got a couple of those, a couple of these, a couple of these, and a couple of these. And then I'm supposed to do what with them? I take this. I see. Interesting. This and this, and then we hide the fact that there are Lego nubs. I wonder if Lego has an actual um, name for the pegs. We do that a couple times. And we go with one of them here and one of them here. And then because they're really posable, I'll put them where we want them. That's pretty cool. And I'm building 2 flowers, it looks like. We start with, no, we don't start with that. We start with these. And then these. But then these first. Okay. So we take that, we throw that in there. We cap it with a green one. Oh, I'm going to end up having to take meds just from sitting here. Oh, I hate my body sometimes. It is such a just source of pain. Yeah, I guess that's as simple as it needs to be said. That is so wild. The size of this end is just perfect to go into one of those holes. So it does so into the orange one. Cool. Oh, except I put it in the wrong hole. Shut up, Ben. All right. That goes here. And this one goes there. And now we finally get to do something with the spider web looking things. We get one more of these and one of the spider web looking things. Put it together. Um, I guess they want me to use this one that's red, but it's such a different color. The colors in the book and versus I'm going to show this to you because it's kind of confusing. The colors don't really match all that well. So what looks orange here looks really light orange, yellow orange here, and what looks red here looks orange, like this color orange in the book. So, but those are the only pieces that actually make sense together. So they didn't give me other colors than that. So that has to be it. So we then take another of these, go on top of that one, and then finally cap it. And I have no idea where that goes. Pretty wild looking. Then they want one of these bunk cake looking things in this four-way, five-way. It's really, and there, like that. And then we put in, oh, we're making stamens or whatever. Yeah, the inside of the flower. I'm sure that actually the little bunk cake looking thing is the stamen, and this is just the flower itself. Okay, er, pretty pretty. Then we shove a yellow stick up the from the bottom, leave it there. And now we finally hook on all of these. Oh, that's brilliant. So this spider web looking thing, or maybe you could say it was a bosun's wheel, being used as a way to affix all of these cool petals. Get this over here so I can see my petals all the way around. And then a second row of them below it. Pretty cool. I don't think there is any such thing as a boy Lego or a girl Lego. That goes for the kits. And I also don't think there's such a thing as being too sensitive to beauty. I think there's actually a desensitivity sometimes because we live in it, live so close to it, we fail to actually see the beauty. in everyday things. And we go below it and we do it again. And they get naturally, oh, brilliant. So I was like, how do I know where to position this? And the answer is just put it right underneath it. It's not going to go up any further than it can. So there's going to be consistent, which makes my little brain happy. Not that consistency is normal in the natural world. Um, there's consistent, there's inconsistent, there's random, there's order in chaos. It's it's funny because I know we humans, especially we in the Neurospicy cast, love our organization. Um, we try to classify things that uh, evade classification, like platypus and echidna, um, or kiwi. The kiwi bird's amazing, um, because we love to bring order into a chaotic world. But the world isn't all chaos, and it's not all order. And sometimes what's necessary is to embrace the chaos in the order as much as it is to value the order in the chaos. That's gorgeous. That is a very cool way to build that. And we put that. So these are supposed to be unopened buds. And then, of course, this is an opened one. Just goes right in there beautifully. There's a reason everybody liked Bob Ross and his happy little clouds. And it's because he was showing that order emerges from chaos. I think any blacksmith knows that. We have to create a bit of chaos in the attempt to forge order. Any builder knows that's true too. You start with an idea of order. You recognize chaos is a transition phase through the building of said order. No house gets built without a whole lot of dust and scraps and so forth. Oh, who knew that plants had steering wheels in them? And lots and lots of bananas. This is just bananas. And boy, from the time I was a kid, these things have been amazing building pieces. And get a little closer so it's not out of focus. Between this and this, the amazing things that get done with these, and then rods of some sort, or as in with this wheel, I'm sure it's going to snap onto it. Yeah, it's sized just right to be able to snap onto it. So I love that um, use of engineering construction, you know, tooling that they created eons ago now. I don't know. I've been around a while, so I've been around a minute. My mom told me something. She was 71 or 72, maybe at the time. Um, and I've experienced it myself. I don't know if this is true of every um, um, uh, archetype of person and the way that we think. But she said it, and I'm agreeing that at no time do we ever um, feel the age we're at, it seems, for me at least. We always feel an age that was uh, extremely informative in our lives, I think, setting the stage for who we're going to be probably the rest of our lives. And I mostly marvel, sometimes lament the fact that I have a hard time um, being serious in situations where I find uh, something new and um, you know really engaging. I instead become quite excited, and it puts people off occasionally because my excitement and joy de vivre, I guess you could say, shine through rather than um, oh, look at that. Those are very barely different colors, just like the pictures had drawn earlier, as far as colors of. I'm gonna have to keep them separate to make sure I don't confuse which is which. That's why they put them in different bags, Jack. Um, yeah, there are times where I get way too um, excited and joyful about the thing I'm learning or that I'm engaging in, that I don't seem to have the severity of thought that others think I should have at the moment. And like I said, occasionally I lament it. Most of the time, though, I relish it because I'm happy. I don't know about everybody around me, but I'm happy at that moment. So it's one of those moments of probably shouldn't say it, but uh, disregard to their opinion, aka blank them if they can't if they can't live as joyfully as I can. That's not my problem. All right, so we'll take one of these strange looking wheels and we'll take the actual steering wheel type thing and we will put them together. Doo-doo-doo-doo. So yeah, even as an old fart, as some would say, not always welcome in every room. Um, I get a lot of joy out of just sitting here and building a thing according to a set of instructions. And, I enjoy building things just without instruction, but the organization of the instructions gives me and then the emergence of this structure into something, you know, pleasurable, whether it's because it's a thing of beauty or because it's a, thing of wonder that they've, been able to put into shape, or uh, excitement for um, a pop culture reference that I enjoy. I see a lot of good out of that I wish more people could find, instead of looking towards uh, watching people of dubious purpose and intent in the world, show off their riches or their weird ways of being. And when I say weird, it's fine for them. But why in the world do we have to sit there and turn it into entertainment? That's not a source of wonder. That's a source of derision oftentimes. So, can you believe what blah, blah, blah did to blah, blah, blah? Come on. There are better things to do in the world. Go build something. Go take a walk in the woods. Go marvel at the world around us. I see what we're doing here. We're building an even bigger flower. It's bigger and with varying age of petals. See, them guys and gals at the Lego company, they are wizards. Wonderful, wonderful wizardry. All right. So now that we've got that on there, we'll go ahead and put the stem through there. Uh, There we go. Now, how many banana petals does this take? You want the, yep, yes, that's neat. They even put good instruction in here. The yellow one, not the light orange one, not the dark orange one, the yellow one. All right. This one's wild. It says, do this 8 times. There's one. Did I do it right? Yes, I did. There's two. Always double check your work, people. Measure twice, cut once. Three, four, five. Ah. Seven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. 8 of those. And they go here, pointing in. I hope folks are ready or preparing for Mother's Day. That's next weekend. I've got things stewing for that myself. All right, so that's that one. Then we're going to do two of these with the lighter orange to go on here at who knows what angle. I think it goes there, there. It looks pretty close to that. Oh, no, they're actually at opposite sides. All right, let's take a look closer look at that. We're going to go here to prevent it from moving. Got it. And here. And now it can't move either. That is pretty clever use of imagery. So from this image, it's not obvious. Pretty close to obvious, but not obvious. But then they just go from this, and you can tell very obviously where it's supposed to go. Turn that. There we go. Hey, Mike, finishing your basement. Cut the board 3 times and it was still too short. Yeah, yeah. Dang it. I'd say go back for a fourth cut, but just a nice, quiet way to spend the morning, not think about too many things that are weighing heavy on me from the world. The world can do that to us, right? You got to find ways to not be stuck in that in the world, or at least the world of men. We got to do 18 of these. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. That's all there. And then do we have 18 of these? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Yep. All right. So just start putting them together. Let's do it. They are indeed a kind of magic all their own, because the really the magic comes from recognizing how pieces become the whole, right? And these pieces are not things that to the average Joe just jump out and say, "This is it. Use me here." It's just it is very magical to see how a bunch of bananas become, petals on flowers. It's not the first time I've experienced that, unique um, ability of Lego engineers, um, seeing um, how to put the component parts into that don't seem to make sense into the bigger whole. Um, there are um, things I've built that use frogs as leaves, um, or colorful frogs as flowers, um, that use bird shapes as forms in the uh, what's it called? The surf of a crashing wave. Just incredible to me. It is a magical thing. It is a calming thing. So this then just goes all the way around. So still on the yellow though. And they're just kind of randomly done as far as how open they are. Do, 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 do. Those are going to help with framing, though. Move that over. There we go. Better framed. And I think I'm putting one, two. This doesn't make sense as far as numbers are concerned for me yet. So let's figure this out. Let's go with 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. See? That's just not right. That means 3, 3, 3, and 3. Wow, no, it's even more. 4 in between each one? No. Yeah, no. 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Let's see if I can figure out how. The math just ain't mathing for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So no, it's 4, 4, 4, 4. Nope, I can't math it. We'll just go. We'll do the best I can. Just keep on going around. One. Yeah, the thing about Lego, right, is I know it's not a typical um, it's not what one would normally think of as highly creative on the part of the builder because they're just following the script laid out before them by the engineers. But it is peaceful. It is emergent, which is what building is as well. So you are actually working with your hands and head, which is what builders do. And this one is this particular flower is pretty neat because it shows both order and disorder at the same time. And that is the nature of our world, right? We love order. We love to marvel when we see it in the world, but the world is also disorder. So the fact that the engineers built that into the idea of how to show that is pretty good. Pretty, pretty good. So now we go here, use 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. And 8. So we get a spare little one of those again. We'll see about that one in a bit. I have a feeling this is a spare, but we'll see. And we make a bunch more of these. Now that I'm coming close to the end of this one, I'm thinking I'm not going to bother with starting another one. Let's see if I can figure out how this goes on. So they already had this put on here, but I'm at a, I think I missed a step. I know I did. Let's backtrack, backtrack. Hey, there it is. That explains it. I was like, I have these two extra pieces. They don't belong here. That was one of the first things I was supposed to do. Let's put this on. Right there. Then, when we were done putting all the petals on the second roll, we were supposed to put that there. And now we put the last one. Last one's on. Of course, I would have been able to do this a lot easier if I hadn't put that on there. And my neck is not happy with me trying to do this, which involves looking up like this so I can see through the freaking bottoms of my progressives. Such a cool little build. So like I said, I don't think there's such a thing as a boy Lego or a girl Lego. Lego is about the wonder of building things. Throw any Lego at any kid. If they're not interested in that Lego, then go find them another Lego they might be interested in. The goal is to get them building something, seeing the process of building things. It involves starting with a mess or sometimes making a mess along the way, but in the long run, coming out with something that is a thing of beauty. There it is. I think we did that one justice. It's a very pretty build. There we go. There we go. That's a good view of it. And I think it came out wonderfully. That was a nice little piece. The adjustability as the wind blows, the leaves move in interesting ways. A little flower bud that way. I like it. It's so cool as you go around. It's got some just had some neat ways of putting things together. It had used some interesting pieces I can't say anymore. And yeah, so if you got some kids or grandkids, I highly recommend going ahead and grabbing, you know, one like this. Go ahead and grab one that's like a car or a construction vehicle. They've got those, or a space vehicle. They've got those, or an architecture piece. Although the architecture builds, I will say, are meant for some advanced builders, or just the random Duplos if they're that age, and let them build things. Let them see what the mess is. Let them build things. Let them then clean up the mess. Um, yeah, and have some fun building things, seeing the process of building things, seeing the way you can think around corners, think outside the box, as they say, and see things, see pieces to become part of the whole. Some of my favorite artwork out there is metalwork, obviously, where they've taken um, metal and instead of reshaping the metal, they literally combine the metal into a collage that becomes something greater. Like there's I've seen it done a number of times now, taking horseshoes and building a freaking horse out of it. So, um, you know, being able to see pieces and parts of things and turning them into bugs and so forth. It's very cool, and Lego is a good way to start that whole, creative um, muscle building because creativity doesn't always come naturally. Most things in human existence don't come naturally to us. They take you get some amount of natural talent, but then they take practice, dedication to build whatever natural talent someone has into uh, something they can leverage that talent into uh, some sort of value, either personal value or professional value. So get them started young, people. It's a great way to engage that spirit of building things. There are other great ways too. Just here's one. So with that, I'll go ahead and I'm going to cut this short today, simply because there's no sense in starting another one here. I do oftentimes get them direct from Lego. Every now and then, if a sale comes along through another retailer, I'll pick up pieces from a retailer, mainly because, but the main most of the time, um, Lego controls pricing, so it doesn't matter if you're getting it from a retailer or from Lego. You'll typically find that the same price exists in both. A lot of companies do that these days. Nintendo, for example, you're not going to go buy a Nintendo cheaper from a retailer without Nintendo's, approval, a marketing agreement, because Nintendo is the one that sets the price, not the retailer. Um, it's a weird world we live in today where corporations basically get to control so much of what happens in in our lives, and that includes at the retail level. Used to be retailers could set their own prices, and today that's not even true in a lot of cases. So this is the case with Lego as well. And I look, I'm a VIP at Lego, so I watch there. I watch on Amazon for when they have sales. I watch it at the various retailers because it's a hobby I very much enjoy. So anyway, as I always challenge at the end of my streams, I'll say it again here, and that is be a light in the world, spread love, not hate. Love and light, everybody. And thank you for joining me today, Michael, and Ben, and Shane, and Kevin, and whoever else was lurking out there. I always appreciate the company.